Hey, this is You Can Quit Your Job Part 2, I guess, since I made a video already with this title. So I wanted to follow up because in that video, I was mostly expressing my own frustrations with my current job and talking about how I plan to pivot into a new career. And I wanted to just give a little more context around that. Um, that is more general for folks. So don't be afraid to quit your job. And I'm not saying this in a just get up and leave, sort of sense. I'm saying that it's possible. If you have been working a job where you are miserable, where you are unsatisfied, you're not feeling fulfilled, you don't feel like you're actually being able to contribute in the way that you actually can, why are you there? There are so many options for work in today's world, really, no matter where you are, with technology, there's so many different things that you could do online exclusively. But especially in the US, there's a lot of different ways that you can create careers that are appealing to people, in a society that is very aesthetic based, very service oriented. Um, there's just so many different things that you could do to cater to that kind of crowd. That's why nail salons are an $8 billion industry in the United States. Um, so even if you didn't go to college or get a degree, know that you have something valuable within you. There is something I am sure that you can do better than a lot of other people. There is something really unique about the way that you could contribute to the world, even if it's something that you think is small, even if it's something that has just been a hobby of yours, just an interest that you've had your whole life. Maybe someone told you were really good at this thing. Maybe people have asked you for that particular service or accommodation. Tap into that, take some time and reflect on what could be there that could launch a potential career for you, that could launch a successful business for you. And everyone doesn't need to be, an entrepreneur or a business owner either. There are ways that you can make money, again, especially online, without having a business, right? YouTube is one of those ways. Being consistent, developing your craft, fine tuning. For some people, depending on what it is that you talk about on YouTube, your channel could take off in a month, in a couple of weeks. For other people, it might take more time. It might take a year or two or three or more. But the people that are committed to YouTube and consistently making videos and trying to, enhance the quality and the content of those videos tend to be pretty successful over time. And for some people, again, their channels take off a lot quicker. If you have material related to health or making more money or, those sorts of channels tend to do really well. Nowadays, I would say even, AI tools and technology, those are channels that tend to take off pretty quickly. So there's a lot of options. And I know that we're taught to find something to, determine your major in college and find your craft and just stick with that until retirement. But that's just not the way of the world anymore. The nature of work has changed. With advancements in technology, work is drastically different than it was 10 years ago, let alone 20 years or more ago. Even academic degrees don't carry the weight that they used to. There's a saturated market of people that have, bachelor's degrees applying for particular jobs, for example. Not that everyone has a college degree, that's still a pretty small elite group of people that actually have college degrees. But of those people, they're all going toward the same types of jobs. And a lot of those jobs don't even exist anymore. A lot of those jobs are being phased out with new technology in particular. So this is a different sort of reality that we're living in. Nowadays, it's really helpful to have multiple streams of income and not rely on one thing as your sole income, especially if you're someone that takes care of people, has dependents, has high living expenses, debt, then yeah. And actually, when you think about people that are really wealthy, rich people, they have multiple streams of income. Even athletes, look at all the different, endeavors that athletes have moved into, publishing companies and sports drinks and shoe wear and clothing. It's not just their salaries. The same for other, popular celebrity artists or whatever they might be. Even, people like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and all of them, they have investments and other things that are providing multiple streams of income for them. So if something doesn't work out, or it's a bad month or year in that particular area, or they lose that stream of income altogether, they have a safety net. And all of us should have a safety net in today's world. We need to have a safety net. Even if you find a way to bring in only a couple $100 more a month, then that's useful. That's helpful. We just don't know about the stability of work in our current world. There's a lot of really serious things happening nationally and globally that are going to change the way that we experience life everywhere, but especially in the US. Because we're coming to realize that, this country is not the powerhouse that it once was. And it's been revealed to, more of the masses now. Some of us have known this for a long time, but it's being revealed in a more clear way, the dependency that the US has on other countries' resources. And now that those other countries are wanting to negotiate fairer deals or have ownership of their resources, that's producing some particular challenges for the US economy. So I just wouldn't get too comfortable in one job and having one income. If you're happy at your job, you have some longevity there, you have a good stable income, wonderful. That is amazing. But I doubt that's the experience of most people. Most people are dragging themselves to work every day, not getting paid what they should, not getting the raises that they should, being exploited. you know these companies and industries that people are working for are multi-million or billion-dollar organizations, and they're just not paying their workers what they should. They're not giving them the benefits that they deserve, the time off that they need. They're not covering really vital expenses like mental health care, certain types of surgeries and things like that. It's ridiculous. We can't rely on these institutions. I mean, the COVID-19 pandemic showed us that. So we're in a very uncertain, precarious time. And it's wise to think about, okay, how would I get by if my main source of income fell through? Or what are some new options for work that I could explore? And I know it's scary. I'm nervous about the moves I'm making. And I have 20 years of experience and a 20-year career behind me, and a lot of other types of social proof behind me, books and everything. And it's not easy to venture into a new area. You have to build that. Most people have to build that if you don't come from wealth and prestige. But I am starting to see, results in what I'm doing. And I'm in circles with all kinds of people who are building new things, who are navigating into different income streams and new forms of work, independent work, entrepreneurial work, remote work, work from home, and they're doing great. They're committed, and they're having these realizations. We're all having these realizations together in these collectives about all this hidden potential that we didn't explore before. For those of us who have degrees, we're like, wow, I didn't realize there was so much more that I could do beyond this degree. So when I say don't be afraid to quit your job, this is what I mean specifically. You only get one life that I know of. And it goes by fast. It goes by so fast, and it's so precious. And there are so many things that are out of our control. There's loss that we're going to experience, suffering that we're going to endure in different ways. All of us are going to be touched by that in this life. So why stay in something that you're unhappy with when you have an option to do something different? There's a question. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I hope to see you in my next video. This is Class with Prof. Eve, where we connect sociological insight to everyday life. Peace.